Picture America in 1922. The war is over. Soldiers are home. Factories that once made bullets now make cars, radios, and refrigerators. For the first time in history, ordinary families are buying things that once belonged only to the rich. A radio on the shelf, a toaster in the kitchen, a refrigerator humming quietly in the corner. By 1929, more than 10 million American homes owned radios, tiny wooden boxes that pulled music, sports, and news straight out of the air. Most of them weren't paid for up front. They were bought using a revolutionary idea: buy now, pay later. Installment plans. You didn't need savings anymore, just optimism. And optimism was everywhere. Henry Ford's Model T didn't just change transportation, it changed society. Cars meant jobs: steel jobs, rubber jobs, oil jobs, glass jobs, roads, motels, diners, gas stations. America wasn't just growing, it was accelerating. Then came the stock market. Wall Street turned into a national obsession. Stocks didn't feel like investments, they felt like lottery tickets that only went up. Your barber had tips, your shoe shine boy had tips. Teachers, secretaries, factory workers, everyone was in. And why not? Because you didn't even need the money. You could buy $100 worth of stock with just $10 down. The bank loaned you the rest. The stock itself was collateral. This was called buying on margin. By 1929, margin loans made up 20% of the entire New York Stock Exchange. Nobody asked the obvious question: what happens if prices fall? Because prices never fell. The economy wasn't running on profits anymore. It was running on confidence, on belief, on vibes. And as long as everyone believed, the illusion held, until one day, it didn't. Act 2, October 24th, Black Thursday. The market wobbles, a few investors panic. Selling begins. Then Monday, the Dow drops nearly 13%. Still, people hope. Then Tuesday, October 29th, the illusion shatters. 16 million shares are traded in a single day. Prices collapse faster than ticker machines can print. Paper floods the floor. In less than a week, $14 billion disappeared. Gone. Not stolen, not burned, just erased. But the real disaster hadn't even started yet. Because of margin loans, brokers started calling. They didn't care that prices crashed. They wanted their money now. If you bought $10,000 in stock with $1,000 down and the market fell in half, you still owed the bank $9,000. People sold everything to cover their debts, but everyone else was selling too. Prices fell further, which triggered more margin calls, which caused more selling. It was a financial death spiral. Then came the bank runs. Banks had invested depositors' money in the stock market. When the market collapsed, so did they. Imagine standing outside your bank with hundreds of neighbors, mothers clutching children, elderly men holding passbooks, people pounding on locked doors. The bank is closed. It has failed. Your savings are gone. There was no FDIC, no insurance, no safety net. By 1932, 9,000 banks had collapsed, wiping out $7 billion in deposits. Entire lifetimes gone in a moment. America wasn't just broke, it was terrified. If the crash was the fall, the Great Depression was the slow crawl along the bottom. By 1933, 25% of Americans were unemployed, 1 in 4. In cities like Detroit, industrial production collapsed by 75%. Factories went silent, assembly lines froze. But statistics don't tell you what hunger feels like. Teachers reported children fainting in classrooms, not from illness, but from starvation. Families skipped meals so their kids could eat. Men who once provided for households stood in bread lines, staring at the ground, ashamed. Homes were foreclosed, families evicted. They built shanty towns from scrap wood and cardboard. They called them Hoovervilles, a bitter joke aimed at President Herbert Hoover, who kept insisting the economy was fundamentally sound. People slept under newspapers called Hoover blankets. Empty pockets turned inside out were Hoover flags. Then the land itself betrayed them. The Dust Bowl. Decades of over-farming had destroyed the prairie's natural defenses. When drought hit in 1930, nothing held the soil down. The wind took it. Massive dust storms, black blizzards, rolled across the plains. Walls of dirt 2 stories high swallowed farms, towns, and lungs. Day turned to night. Cattle suffocated standing up. Families fled. 2.5 million people migrated west, loading their lives into broken trucks, chasing rumors of jobs that barely existed. This wasn't just economic collapse. It felt apocalyptic. March 4th, 1933. America is on its knees. Then Franklin Delano Roosevelt speaks. His voice travels through millions of radios into darkened living rooms. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It wasn't poetry, it was permission to breathe. Roosevelt acted immediately. He shut down every bank in the country, a bank holiday. Inspections followed. Weak banks were closed, strong ones reopened. Then he did something radical. He explained it. Through fireside chats, he spoke plainly, calmly, directly to the people. Trust began to return. And then came action. The New Deal. The CCC put young men to work planting trees, building parks, and restoring land. 3 million men earned $30 a month, sending most of it home. The WPA employed 8.5 million Americans, building bridges, schools, roads, and hospitals. Artists painted murals, writers recorded stories, musicians preserved culture. People weren't just working again, they mattered again. Roosevelt rebuilt the system. The SEC regulated Wall Street. The FDIC insured bank deposits. Social Security ensured dignity in old age. The Depression didn't end overnight. That took a world war. But hope returned. And hope changes everything. The Great Depression taught America brutal lessons. That debt-fueled optimism collapses. That markets without guardrails destroy lives. That when systems fail, people suffer first. But it also proved something else. That leadership matters. That collective action works. That societies can rebuild, if they choose to. The generation that survived this nightmare went on to defeat fascism, build the modern middle class, and reshape the world. But they never forgot. The breadlines, the dust storms, the locked banks. Memory kept them cautious. The question is, what will we remember?